Hey YouTube, it's JP Dillon. We're going to take a break from the RCA for a little bit while I wait for the tube to get here. This was a recent estate sale find. This is a 1986 Sears model 564-4100-0550. Or 1550. It's a 19-inch tabletop. Made in January of 1986. It's probably one of the last gasp, completely mechanical tuner analog TV sets of its day. It's very similar to one that my parents had, but theirs was made in the late 70s, and it was a Sanyo, and it looked almost identical. But rather than having the controls and stuff down below here, they were hidden behind a door behind the speaker. So I'm still looking for one of those. But the price was right. I have no idea if it works. It was a buy sight unseen kind of thing. But yeah, we're just going to open it up, take a look and see if it needs anything, fire it up, and see what it does. So here she is with the back off. And you can see that this is a pretty low hour set. I haven't done anything to clean this, but there's minimal dust here and there. There's only just a little tiny bit, really. It's a very simple monolithic board. Nothing fancy here, integral flyback. Thankfully, back here they've got standard vertical IC rather than one of those strange modular chip things that you can't get. Floating ground chassis use isolation transformer when servicing. And this has all the newer generation, I think these are actually Sanyo branded caps too, which you don't see a whole lot of problems with. We've got this little module here. I'm not sure what this does. I don't think this is vertical. It's not powerful enough for that. But yeah, very low hour set. Looks good. All the soldering on the neck board's nice. No cracking, no nothing. This is clean. And then it's got the Sears branded picture tube with the Japanese number on it. So, very cool. Let's take a look at the bottom side of the board and see if it needs anything, soldering, etc. Yeah, so this board looks really nice. There are some large power resistors over here, which could use a little bit of resoldering there, 459 and 458. And then just the adjacent one, 416, whatever, just could use a tiny little bit of resoldering. I'm going to do a quick check on the vertical output section here. These capacitors in these sets tend to get leaky or fail. But really, this board looks beautiful. I mean, it's very low hour set. I don't think these people used it this much. I mean, I found it in a closet, and it was covered up. I don't think it was maybe used a very short time and then put away. But yeah, all the flyback soldering is really good looking. Normally you'd see it all kind of blackened and crusty, but this one's nice. Let's just get out the ESR meter real quick and check the vertical output section. So let's just do a brief check here. Make sure all these caps are happy. That looks good. Yeah, very low hour set. And then somewhere around here, I'm going to have to take a look and see, is the B-Boost caps, which were kind of high failure rate on these Sanyos. Main filters look good. All these ones in the regulator look good. You've got ones up here. Here's that's probably your B-Boost cap right there, C453. We'll look at the value in a second. Anything obvious here? That tech's good. Okay, let's flip this over and take a look. Yeah, so that cap was the B-Boost cap. That's a 4.7 at 250 volt. So that was okay. You don't get really high ESR on those, so I'm not expecting a whole lot. But this board is looks really good. I went ahead and resoldered those couple resistors, which are those guys down there. And so we're going to clean the pots. Maybe spray a little contact cleaner in the tuner and work it a bit. And then turn it on and see what happens. Alright, so here it is. We're going to plug this thing in and see if it does anything useful. If I can get the camera to focus on it right. Alright, so here goes nothing. Raster came up quick, that's good. Good looking pattern there, albeit a bit washed out. A little jumpy too. Vertical height's a little off. Centering is a little off. It's going to jump and twitch a bit. Let's see. Get some light back here so I can see what I'm doing without killing myself. Bring in the focus real good. Let's flick our service switch. Yeah, looks good. Nice white line. Perhaps a little too bright, actually. So, I'm going to flick our service switch. Turn the biases down. Turn the screen down. The red's our strongest gun, obviously. And we're going to make red into magenta. And then magenta into gray. Green's our weakest gun, and you got to turn that one up a lot. Just kind of playing with this. The screens were definitely up too high. You're just barely supposed to see a line here. Of course, now that it's warming up, it's getting a little better. Let's try red, green, and blue. Let's flick it back. Let's bring our brightness up a little. It stopped twitching, so I'm guessing whatever caps were pissed off are kind of reforming now. Although it's still a little shrunk at the top. I may tweak that some. Let's go over to the color bars and see what kind of color reproduction we have. Pretty good, actually. That's about right. Got a little bit of fringe here, which goes away when you adjust the fine tuning. In fact, let's turn the AFC on. That really clears it up. So maybe I'm just off on the fine tuning a bit. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I can tell right away this set isn't going to need much. Looking good. So I guess the next thing to do is put a real signal in it. Yeah, that looks washed out. There we go. Look at them pretty color bars. Looks pretty good. It's going to do its blanky blanky thing. Yeah, can't fix that. Nice bright CRT though. Looks very nice. Let's get a real signal on it. So, this is a pretty bright set. I've got the contrast turned way down. Okay, let's try something else here. We still got a little bit of lack of vertical deflection, but that'll clean up really easy. Ignore the bits of garbage on the picture. That's because the transformer I'm using, the 300 to 75 transformer, is kind of junky. This thing's just so bright though, it's just maxing out the camera. Wish they wouldn't format this stuff in 4x3. Looks a lot better in its original format. Excuse me, 16:9. It was formatted in 4x3, they stretch it. The camera just doesn't do this thing justice, I'll tell you. Yeah, it's just so bright. Ah, yes. Topics of today. So let's see if we can adjust the vertical a little bit better. Should be able to. I'm just going to reach in here and electrocute myself. Don't mind me. There's no vertical centering, so I just have to take what I get with that one. Looks better. You can see before the camera blinks that it's got a really clear picture. It keeps wanting to focus on something that's not there. Very nice. So, yeah, I'll enjoy this one. This was a good find. Low hour set. Really simple. The tube is just so bright on this one. Very cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the little show and tell video. More stuff to come.